Well. We're on for Sunday Night Live. You know, they have Saturday Night Live as a show. We have Sunday Night Live. Every week we come and say, hey there, hi there, ho there on Sunday evening. Every week we do this. I'm on. I know some of y'all may be watching some football or was looking at some football. I was watching the Cowboys, and then they started beating up on the Commanders. I was like, ooh, this is no bueno. This is no bueno. Let me give time for YouTube and all to get all the people educated to try to get all the people coming. That way everybody knows we are here. Put some eye drops in my eyes, and of course they're just sitting there now like tears, waiting. Let's see if we can get some stuff done. Hope everybody had a good trading week. Share with me how your trading week went. How did your trading week go? I had several iron condors, and the call credit spreads got breached last week. A few of my call credit spreads, several. I had, all but one. The Triple Q did a really good job of that iron condor for the week on Triple Q was fine. The IWM iron condor got breached. I had Labu, I think it was, some other ones. I had a few of them, and they got breached. It, as they say, the call credit spread side got breached on 3 or 4 of my trades. 3 or 4 of them. It kind of happened unexpectedly. So then I waited on Thursday to give it till Friday to see if something would happen on Friday. I was trying to let some theta decay help me a bit. Actually, one of them ended up closing between the strikes, so that one wouldn't have been a full loss. But the other 3, I believe, did a max loss. So those were the top side of the call credit spread sides of the iron condors. Janae, I was just talking about the Commanders. I think didn't they lose? I know when I walked away from the game, well, I wasn't watching the game. When I left the room where the game was on, the Dallas Cowboys had just scored that long punt return. And then I heard some screaming happening after that. So I don't know how did it end up. Tell me who ended up with the final. How did it go? Tell me about it. Tell me how it went. While you're thinking about it, I also want to know from whoever is listening, from those of us who are listening and watching, what do we want to look at this week? I'm going to hit the regular, indices. I got some information I'll share about what the Thanksgiving week usually looks like. How does Thanksgiving week usually do? We'll talk about that. And we'll talk about last week a little bit. The Cowboys pulled it off. Yeah, I think they were winning. I mean, when I walked away, they were winning. Are you a Cowboys fan, Jermaine? Are you what team do you support? I don't really have a team. They give me a hard time about it because I say I've jumped to the Steelers, but I only say that jokingly. I don't have a team. I don't have a team that I've adopted. I don't have one. So I usually decide closer to Super Bowl who it is I'm for. Who am I rooting for? And I'm usually like in the Super Bowl time, I pick a team. Because up till that, I'm kind of like, not engaged enough to stay with one team. I'm from Jacksonville. And I think if the Jacksonville Jaguars were really good this year, I would hop on. But, right now they're not doing all that well. So because they're not doing that well, I'm not just jumping on because it's where I live. Jermaine said he's a Cowboys fan. Okay. Janae says we're good for 6 or 7 games a season. Now you don't have a team. I go back and forth. You already know today. I'd be like, well, I don't really have a team. I don't have a team. I got the teams that are teams that are like around me. I told you my stepdaughters is with the Ravens. My stepdaughter, my husband is a Bengals fan. We live in Jacksonville. I don't really have a go Chiefs. I know a guy who plays on the Lions, so like a hometown hero. I call him a hometown. He's not a little boy. He's a young man. He actually graduated high school with my daughter, same time as my daughter, and they actually dated, and then he went to the Lions. So yeah, I could join up with some teams. I don't have a team. Jamie, did your team win this week?
I don't want to talk about it.
Oh yeah, they lost the other day.
Yeah,
I heard that. Saw that.
They knew better.
Who they played against?
The Cleveland Browns.
Oh, so see, I'm from Cleveland. I'm with the Browns.
You know what? The word of God says a double-minded man is unstable in all of his ways.
Ooh. Oh my goodness. So when I've heard the other day that the Cleveland Browns were the ones who won, I was like, oh, okay, I can go with the Cleveland. I'm with them. My husband was like, pick a team.
Now here's the thing though. I'm not saying don't go with the Cleveland. I'm just saying you got to be aware of something.
Okay.
So the Steelers hate the Ravens. It's been a long time since they've been at odds since like the 90s, right?
Okay.
But that started in, let's say, 96. Okay. But what actually happened is the reason why we don't like the Browns is because what the Baltimore Ravens are, the current Ravens, used to be the old Cleveland Browns.
Really?
The original Cleveland Browns moved from Cleveland to Baltimore and changed their name to the Ravens.
Oh.
So the current Cleveland Browns is actually an expansion team.
Oh.
Yeah, so know who you're cheering for is all I'm saying.
It's know who you're cheering for.
But of course, they get to somehow adopt the history of the other original Cleveland Browns. Mm-hmm. But the actual original Cleveland Browns moved over to the Baltimore.
Ah.
Yeah, and then the Baltimore used to have a team called the Baltimore Colts, and the Colts moved down to Indianapolis.
Yep, I remember the Colts. Yeah.
So they didn't even have a team for 12 years in Baltimore until the Browns moved there. So people always put Steelers Ravens in 1996. No, that'd be like somebody, your nemesis, moving from Ohio over to Maryland and changing their names. You like, oh, now we don't like each other. No, we didn't like each other all the way from back then. What you talking about?
We didn't like each other then either.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the story behind it.
Gotcha. Okay. Well. Now that we've got a few people over here, we've caught up. I remember the Colts too. We've caught up on all things football. Now, what are we going to talk about on Sunday evenings when we don't have any football to talk about? What are we going to do then?
We in trouble.
Talk about other things, I guess, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Let me see. Okay. So last week, SPX had a green week, but it looks like it's an inside week. Looks like an inside week last week. Come on. I think it's coming. It's moving quite slow. There we go. Inside week. Basically, this is the weekly chart. So every candle is 1 week worth of data. And this was the week. This is what it did for last week. Right? Oh, come on. Sorry. Inside week there. Dropped. Stop, drop, and roll. This gives us a nice little resistance up here at the 6,008. 6,017 is the high there. But it's an inside week. If you're trading by the week, you definitely want to wait till it goes outside week to make a move. Hey, Shanna, and hey, Tanya. How y'all doing? Shanna says, all I know is the Lions are the best. Well, Chauncey Gardner Johnson is from my hometown. He plays on the Lions. So I said hey to Tanya. I said hey to Ward. Good evening. Innovative Social Media Creatives. Hey there. Janae, good afternoon. Stacy, hi. Hi, Jermaine. I've already spoken to you, I think. Jamie, I said hi to Jamie already. He has joined the show. Jamie joined the show. Okay, so SPX is this was the weekly. We had a green week last week. Let's look at the daily chart to see what the daily chart looks like on SPX, right? Listen, there's so lots of things I could say, but these long wicks are telling. They almost are like bottle rockets ready to shoot to the moon. Long wick means there was some sellers that stepped in, but the buyers said not so and kept it pushing. The gap that was back from November the 6th and 7th, that gap has been filled with this price action. There is still a gap, or one big gap, or two gaps if you want to call them that, down here where it gapped down from October 30th to 31st. And then from November the 5th to the 6th, it gapped up. Pretty big gap up happened there. Of course, that was election related. I believe the 5th and the 6th was around election time. And that gap still remains unfilled. Okay. That's what's going on with SPX. What are your thoughts for this week? What are the thoughts for this week? Well, I will say I did a little bit of research, and the research says that the week of Thanksgiving week, generally about 75% of the time has been bullish. The week has been bullish, where Monday, Tuesday was kind of sitting still, kind of, not a whole lot happening. Of course, nothing that happened in the past is an indication automatically of future changes, but just know that this is what happened in the past. Monday and Tuesday generally has low volume, generally has the prices kind of sit around, and then there we go. And then on Wednesday, things are primarily bullish on Wednesday. Maybe it's the consumer sentiment that is high there, that people are looking for, we're excited about the holidays. So you got good vibes. Yeah, you got good vibes. And the shopping happens the next day. So consumer staples, technology, retail stuff seems to be bullish in this window of time as well. Janae says, nice. We've been bullish all year. Yep, we've been bullish the majority of this year. That would be true. I wonder if we change to if we switch to, I don't even have the yearly chart. That would be good to see. If we did it by the month, we could even see that these have been all the months. This has been November of last year, December. So all this year we've been green. All month. We had one little pause here in April where we pulled back a little bit April, and we blew right past that in May, and we've been going strong ever since. Okay. So that is what we can expect this week. Again, the past doesn't never speak to what will happen in the future, but that's where we are on that. So let's look at SPY, which will look a lot like SPX, I'm sure. Those charts look the same, which only makes sense. Had a gap down here that got filled by Thursday's price action. Friday, green. All these, actually the whole week ended up being green. We had an inside day. We dipped, we opened down here. We gapped down to open and then ran up the rest of the day. This was the 19th, which was Tuesday. Yep. And then we continued on through this price action from Thursday was crazy. A big drop all of Thursday, only to close, and a doji that was Wednesday and Thursday. It did that. And then Friday we had a green day. Let's look at triple Q from last week. Very similar, except Thursday for triple Q was a red day. Thursday from triple Q was red. Okay, still had that same kind of doji-ish look. Something went in my eye. But this gap here that was above it, as Jamie called it, a gap sandwich, this gap sandwich has still not been fully eaten. This gap sandwich is still here. The gap is not filled all the way. And this is actually, let me leave it there and just pull the ends. This gap here This is what remains of the gap. That's what remains. Just this little bitty bit at the top. Well, I'm gonna make this top part a little bigger because it'll go up to the red candle here. Okay. Only from 507.03 all the way up to 508.75. That is the part that is yet to be filled. This part over here has been filled by Thursday and Friday's price action. Okay, triple Q, that's what that one did. We've got a gap above us. And honestly, this gap below has not been filled all the way either. Let's pull it out. The gap below, I'm going to alter it to just what we have left. And what's left is just a teensy bit, which teensy bit is a measurement, by the way, in case you were wondering. Teensy bit is a measurement. Okay, so we've got a gap down here from 492 all the way up to 494.50. That's the gap that's underneath all of this. This is triple Q we're looking at. So it is in the middle. These things, when it's in the middle like this, we can potentially trade it as iron condors because that means it's something above it, something below it. That's kind of, as Jamie called it, a gap sandwich, kind of sandwiching it in. You do still want to, be mindful. Friday was an inside day. So you want to be mindful of that. So you have your, you go above the gap a bit, below the gap, and just know that the gap will provide support and resistance, but it could potentially, keep us hemmed in on all sides. We're looking at IWM next. Let me see. I need to make these things bigger. I think I can make this a little bigger. I want you, while you're thinking here, I do not have the list for today. I was working on it. Well, after I worked on helping my daughter try to pass her math class, I then started working on my list, and it was bigger than I thought it was going to be. So the list is not complete. Those who are in my community will see the list when it's done. But otherwise, we're just going to look at some stuff that we have. If you're in any of my areas, if you're in the community, if you're on the social media, all those things, I will put it out before this evening ends, but it's not ready for this call. The list not ready yet. So if you got something you want to see, then go ahead and put some stuff in the chat. I did see that PM showed up in the chat already. I'm going to definitely look at the indices to see what kind of things we could potentially do for the indices. And we'll go with that. Okay. This is IWM, came right on down to this little buy zone area and then turn right back around. It left some teensy weensy little bitty gaps between it after it left. Let me see. This one here actually is still remaining. There's a gap here. There's a little bit of a gap. Little bit for sure right here. Little bit of a gap right there. Close to the open that got closed. Gap. Down, but it closed with price action. The gap from the close to the open, price action filled it. Okay, those are the only gaps I see on IWM in the close, in the near proximity. All right, that's what I see on IWM. Well, while we're here, we don't have to look here though. Let's see. Let's look at meetings, and then we'll go from there to, we're gonna do my Forex factory. We'll go from there to earnings after we do our meetings for the week. Don't have a whole lot of earnings left because I think we're ending the season, and maybe it's just that we're Thanksgiving week, so maybe there's not a lot coming up because it's Thanksgiving week. But let's talk meetings. Okay, this is the week coming up, the week of November the 24th. Hope everybody can see. I'm trying to make it big so we can see it. There we go. Okay, so Monday, there's nothing on the list for Monday. Monday is absent of all meetings. Tuesday, we've got S&P CS Composite 20 HPI. HPI, this is Housing Prices Index, Housing Price Index. Month over month, year over year, that's at 9 o'clock on Tuesday morning. CB Consumer Confidence is at 10 o'clock on Tuesday morning. New home sales and Richmond Manufacturing, those are orange folders. So the CB Consumer Confidence is a red folder at 10 o'clock on Tuesday. On Wednesday, 8:30, we've got preliminary GDP. It's a red folder. Unemployment claims, another red folder, both before the market opens. Core durable goods orders, preliminary GDP price index, that's all GDP related stuff, and it's orange folders. And we've got some yellow folders, good trades balance, and preliminary wholesale inventory month over month. 9:45, we've got Chicago PMI. 9:45 on Wednesday morning, right? Chicago PMI. 10 o'clock, we've got core PCE. All the PCE, personal spending, personal income, pending home sales, all those things are here at 10 o'clock. 10:30, crude oil inventories. 12 o'clock, natural gas storage. And at 2 o'clock, ding, 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 ding. We're going to have FOMC meeting minutes. 2 o'clock, just before Thanksgiving. Now, I think this pre-Thanksgiving day has a regular day. If y'all tell me if I'm wrong, I think it has a full day of trading. I know that Friday does have a partial day. It closes early. It's either 1 or 2 o'clock on Friday. The market closes early. I don't think it closes early on Wednesday though. So if somebody knows different, let me know. But as far as I understand, Wednesday is a full day. Thursday, of course, is a bank holiday. Market is closed. Friday, market is open again, but it's only open part day. Okay, only open part of a day. I'm going to come on. So several years back, early in my trading career, it was kind of early. Yeah, about a year into my trading career, we were trading the our one DTE strategy and hanging out over, overnight trades, right? That's the same time. It was probably 2021, 2022, maybe? No, 2021, maybe this was, or maybe 2020. Anyway, the Chinese market had a crash based on their real estate and housing and stuff, had a crash while our market was closed, the Chinese market was still open and they had a crash. And by the time we got up Friday morning, a whole lot of stuff had happened. I'm saying all this stuff to say that this week, this is, my guidance. It's not financial advice. Everybody, you are the CEO of your own portfolio, but I will offer some guidance that says, if you are trading this week, do whatever you're going to do by Wednesday, right? Maybe get what you're going to get, trade, turn off, And if you're going to trade on Friday, then wait to trade on Friday. I wouldn't necessarily leave things over from Wednesday to Friday because there's just, of course, that can happen. Stuff can happen every weekend. It can happen over a holiday. I mean, things can happen at any time. I'm just saying you want to use wisdom. And as a seller, those, crazy events that happen while the market is closed do not do us any good. They don't do us any favors. People who are buying, if they, buying calls and there's a pop, then they benefit from that stuff. If they, think it was going down and there's a drop over the weekend or the holiday, then they benefit from that. But as sellers, when if that stop, drop, and roll happens for us, generally, we don't get the benefit of that. Okay. So you just want to be wise. All righty. Be wise. All right. That's what I want you to do. I want you to be wise. Jamie, whenever you're ready. All right. We, of course, will be on our call Monday and Wednesday. We'll be on the call, but I want you to, use your wisdom. We'll talk about it each day as it comes, as we normally do, but just know that you need to use your wisdom. All right. Go ahead, Jamie. Go ahead, Jamie. Go ahead. Jamie, go ahead. Jamie, are you there? Jamie.
Yeah,
If you're
I'm
talking,
here.
we can't hear you. There we go.
Okay. Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
Good evening, everyone. So let's take a look at these earnings. For Monday, of course, I am more so interested in the tech stuff. No surprise there. However, on Monday before open, the Bath and Body Works company is going to be reporting. They've been kind of to be honest with you, I'm surprised they still open, if I'm being honest. On Monday after close, Zoom, that is they are still, irritating us with all those updates, but they're still in existence. They made it through COVID. I ain't gonna say unscathed, but that seems to be the case so far. They are on the software side when it comes to tech versus or software versus hardware. SimTech and Agora are both on the tech side. Agora is actually, if I'm not mistaken, Agora is out of China. That is a Chinese-based company, and they almost said again.
What do they do?
They kind of remind me of Zoom in a way, just because they offer it's like the real-time engagement platform as a service kind of thing. They deal with interfacing and all that kind of stuff, but they have like a bunch of different products. But the main thing is, to me, is communication. That's really what it is, letting people interact live, streaming, doing chatting, stuff like that. So it kind of reminds me of Zoom by the way it's described. But the other one, SimTech, is parts. They are over in the semiconductor side of it. And when I say parts, I'm talking like they're basically in the same space as Analog Devices, which is reporting Tuesday before the market. Analog Devices will be known for having these. I don't know if y'all know what LiDAR is. You heard of LiDAR? Kind of, sort of. Okay. So what SimTech is doing is SimTech is manufacturing like analog and mixed signal semiconductors with all these like advanced algorithms and stuff. But just know that it boils down to component parts. And so the same thing with Analog Devices. Some of what they're doing is just different types of parts, but component parts. And the reason I brought up Analog Devices in LiDAR is that technology. If you remember when cars really kind of first started supposedly being able to see in the dark and all this other stuff, when you're driving, LiDAR technology is what they were using to be able to do it. So it's kind of on that side. All of that stuff is really integrated circuits is really what it boils down to. And so that's what analog digital is doing, integrated circuits. This is way more complex than I'm making it, but is definitely, it's way more simplified. No, I'm saying that right. It's just way more complex than what I'm making it sound, but integrated circuits is what it boils down to. So everybody's always doing, some version or some variation of a semiconductor. But that's what's going on with those two at the very least. Small parts, but very important parts, especially with ADI, because a lot of times you'll see those integrated circuits in stuff from communication to industrial. All kind of areas you'll find those in. After close on Tuesday, of course, most people will recognize Dell, and most people should recognize HP, which, by the way, Arlissa, is not H. Okay, you already know where I'm going with that. All right. So this one,
really,
this HP will be H. This one is, I believe, is HPQ. It's kind of crazy because HP. Listen, you can type in HP, HPE, HPQ. There's another one, and you'll be thinking that you're going to get Hewlett Packard like almost every time. And then you end up finding out there's a whole bunch of them that are so close together. And a lot of those companies may actually report within weeks of each other. kind of like in this situation. Hewlett Packard is reporting now, but then that other one was like what, last week or the week before last? That was another HP, and it was just a regular HP. But anyway, so in terms of what we would call hardware, I would say Dell and HP are in that group. Umbrella is also reporting. They're in that group as well. Umbrella deals with the high definition and ultra high definition. They have what's called system on a chip design. So basically everybody's kind of moving towards the more stuff you can get on one computer chip, the better is what it boils down to. And so that helps save with different space and stuff like that. And so that's kind of the they're able to have like on a single chip, they got multiple functions on whatever chip that they have, and it has low power consumption, which is another thing we discussed in the past because of ARM. That's one thing that makes ARM popular, is that everybody's trying to get towards ARM for that reduction in the heat source, but not sacrificing your effectiveness. So Umbrella is dealing with that. We also got 3D Systems reporting, and don't overlook 3D Systems because this is about they're doing stuff like with 3D printers, 3D printing technology. But they have like a nice little range of products that they're using, or shall I say industries that they're a part of. So if anybody was to Google just 3D printing, you will see how that sector is really starting to take off. But they're under the computer hardware side of technology. Some of us have probably heard of Nutanix, which is at the bottom right. I'm sorry, at the bottom of the Tuesday list. And they're also on they're kind of on the side with they're classified as infrastructure, software infrastructure, but they kind of do a little bit of everything, if you ask me. But it's called enterprise grade virtualization solutions. So, but at the end of the day, what they're doing is service in the cloud type stuff. So, they got a lot going on for themselves. But what they're essentially doing is they offer what's called a hyper-converged infrastructure software stack that converges like virtualization, storage, and networking services all together. All right. I don't even know how to repackage that for it to make sense, but once you hear there's something that's happening in the cloud, they got a version of the Nutanix cloud. You'll see that anything in the cloud means it's subscription based, and somebody making some money. And of course, most of us know about CrowdStrike, Workday,
yes,
and Autodesk, so we're familiar with those. So in terms of tech, that's all that. In terms of being reported, that's all that's showing up for right now. But don't forget, AMD is laying off 4% of its workforce. You might want to be aware of that. Some of us do chart AMD and trade AMD. So that's about 1,000 employees that's about to get booted, which is not cool. But
a lot of times when those companies lay people off, the stock goes up because of the people who are the stockholders get excited about that.
Yeah, because it's all about the bottom line.
Yeah,
it's what it boils down to. The word on the street is AMD is reducing the staff so they can focus on more AI related things, which wouldn't surprise me because that's the buzzword for right now. Also, thank you. Oh, that's a cough actually, but also Supermicro hired a new auditor, and so because they're trying to stay on that NASDAQ listing, so their shares popped up 37%. If you remember, they fell off the map almost after there was a little issue that was being reported and the auditor company left, and Supermicro's stock dropped. So they're trying to, I guess you could say, make amends and get themselves together. Last but certainly not least, be aware of what's going on with Coinbase. I know we keep talking about it, but anything dealing with Bitcoin has the potential to impact Coinbase amongst the other coins that we've been discussing. And at the end of the day, this is considered America's most pro-crypto Congress ever. So there's been multiple people who have been newly elected who are, pro-crypto. And so, right now it is, of course, people are saying, oh, Bitcoin is going to hit $100,000 and it's going to hit, I got a feeling it's going to charge pretty high. But some of us are trading Coin, we're trading Riot, Mara, things of that nature. And so there's a whole list of them in there. So you want to definitely keep an eye on what's going on in terms of what's happening in Congress and the news that's coming out of Congress concerning crypto, because that directly affects our pocketbook if you are trading or holding any of those in the crypto space. All right. Outside of that, Mara Digital is raising money. Marathon, well, Mara is the ticker. Marathon Digital is trying to raise, is it $1 billion? And one of the reasons is so that they can buy some crypto. So there's a whole lot.
Okay.
There's a whole lot of crypto buying happening right now. So something to be aware of and keep in mind for our trading future. That's all I got.
Okay. Coolie high. Janae said, despite the market rising, there has been layoffs all year long. Yeah, the market, well, because things are what they are. I mean, we ain't gonna talk about inflation. Did y'all go buy? Anybody been off to buy groceries for Thanksgiving? As they say, yesterday's prices are not today's prices, and you definitely can feel it when you're buying. I guess usually if you buy, for me, I usually buy like along the way, a little bit along the way. But of course, for Thanksgiving, you kind of buy a larger quantity and you buy it in bulk, and you definitely, feel a little bit harder. We were getting ready to buy. My husband said he's going to fry the turkey. So we were in Sam's looking at he looked at the oil. The peanut oil was literally $59.99 for a 5 gallon, less than 5 gallons. I think it was like 4.5 gallons. I'm like, I looked at him. I said, the oven works fine. I don't think we're doing $60 for a grease that we're going to fry a turkey in. You're even going to eat the grease. You're going to eat the turkey. No.
It's literally getting to the point where we might as well just start raising the turkeys and chicken yourself.
Right. And he was like, he said, it make sense that the oil to cook the turkey in costs more than a gallon of gas, costs more than, it costs more than gas for your car. It's crazy. So it's like, I'm good on that. The oven.
You could fill up an SUV for the same price as that bottle of peanut oil.
It was a lie. I just was like, no, sir. No, sir. No, sir. No. So anyway, that's that. And that was only one thing we were talking about buying. Of course, there were other things that were bought and everything. Y'all, again, I know y'all are feeling it. If you've been to the grocery store, I know you're feeling it for sure. All right. We're not eating the grease. No, we're not eating the grease. We're eating the turkey, not the grease. This week, I put out another video, the 3 best option selling strategies for 2025. And you got to go over, take a look at the video. It's on the channel. You're here already, right? Yep, you're already here. You can go take a check and look at the video that was posted. I got a few more that are all lined up and ready to go. I just need to sit and record them. I spent this weekend helping my daughter get her math together, though. The weekend was slated to be, after I did my thing outside. Hope Saturday went good. Did Saturday go okay? Everybody who was there Saturday morning, put something in the comments. Thank you, Jamie, for standing in for me.
In the comments. Don't say a word.
Is it what happens in the chat when others ain't there? Stays in the meeting when others ain't there? Is that what happened?
Because I dropped the ball.
Oh,
Because I
well.
remember because I got started. I was thinking it was this coming Saturday.
I wasn't talking about that part. I was past that.
Oh, okay. All right.
I'm over that. I mean, you know.
Okay, well then, yeah, say a bunch of good stuff, y'all.
I'm over that part. If it's just because, I mean, you know, yeah, it worked. That happens sometimes. So, yeah. So if everybody, if it was a great discussion, Tanya says, if y'all got some good stuff out, which I know you did, because Jamie is great with helping the trading and the charting and all that good stuff. He's wonderful about that. So I know it was good. Thank you for standing in. But yeah, my plan was to record some videos, but I ended up helping her out. So that was more needful. That was more needful. Anyway, the video is there. 3 best option selling strategies is the latest video that I uploaded. So you can, you know, check over there, go see what you see if you agree, or see how it could, you know, work for you going forward. Don't forget, we do have our morning show. The E2T morning show with Jamie is Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 9:20. We're on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, all of those times. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 9:20. YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. I got a couple things going for Black Friday, and I put out a new Black Friday deal, special price, whatever, alert each day. So I did one yesterday, did one today. Yesterday we did the SPX. So for those who are trading SPX, looking for a daily strategy or a weekly strategy for SPX, that's what I did with that. That's there, half off of that inside educator2trader.com. And the wheel strategy, which is selling puts and selling covered calls, that is a whole strategy. Got 2 parts. Covered calls can be with shares. They can be with leaps. And then when or if you assign the shares, you can then sell covered calls against them. Those are the 2 strategies that so far have been uploaded or have been offered up for the Black Friday. I know we're starting early this week. Might as well put them, you know, let's see what's out there. This good stuff. Those classes have both been updated. So they got good stuff in them. Got good stuff. I think Peakbot is also offering a half off thing going for their Black Friday. I think they're offering automation. You can get a bot and do the automation there. Speaking of Peakbot, they did Peakbot change their website. It is now Peakbot. It's not used Peakbot anymore. It's peakbot.com. If you want to check out Peakbot, I use it, of course, for automation. I use it for the alerts. So if you're one who's paying for the alerts, you're going to do alerts at peakbot.com. They made their transition on Friday. I don't think it went as smooth as it could have gone. Maybe they had a couple bumps, but they managed it well. We managed it well. And so if you're doing the alerts, that's where you want that. And I go use it for the watch list. Their watch list, top tier, tells you the trend, tells you, you know, put side, call side if you're looking for that. So that's all good stuff there as well. Okay, if you're looking at Peakbot. So let's talk about what happened last week on our trades list. Our trades list. We had 38. There's 38 trades here. There's 19 of them if you count straight down, and there was a call credit spread and a put credit spread on all of them. So 28 of the 38 were profitable. Notice there was almost all the ones that were breached were on the call credit spread side, right? We had AbbVie get breached over there. Gold got breached. IBM got breached. Airbnb, GDX, which is a version of the gold. KWEB, I think is the one. Or was that? No, that was MU. Micron got breached. USO. WDC, trying to think of what was, Western Digital. WDC is Western Digital. And then XBI, those were the ones. And then only one put credit spread, which was Alibaba, got breached on the put credit spread side. That's what happened last week. We had 28 of 38 profitable trades, which is a 74% win rate. We'll still snap it up. We'll still take it. 74% win rate is good. We'll be choo. We don't like it when we get breached it, though. I am an Iron Condor fan, and y'all know I am. But this week I'm thinking we do have a bunch of the list is pretty long on the put credit spread side. There's a few call credit spreads coming, and then there's maybe about 6 or 8 iron condors. When I finish the list, I've started it, I just didn't finish it. When I finish the list, I'll make sure we have that. But we want to be sure to know that this week is probably going to be a little more bullish. Probably going to be a little more bullish. I wouldn't, expect it's going to be, it might give you good opportunity for some iron condors this week because of the first couple of days of kind of just chilling. So, I mean, again, you're the CEO of your own portfolio. The option seller zone membership, which is our membership, is open. I'm actually going to start doing it. Maybe I'm thinking about this strongly about having it open at certain times. That way we can start like new cohorts of people that come in waves. So it's not just open all the time, but we'll have it where it'll open up at certain times. But basically, we're going to learn, trade, and profit the seller's way. We are option sellers. Supportive community, profitable strategies for less screen time, daily profits to grow your account if you want to trade each day. And we've got training and support. It's a wonderful community that's been curated to really be very supportive and to help people along the way. It is definitely worth the $97 a month that it is currently priced, which that price is going to change as well. So if you're thinking about the membership, you might want to go on and jump in. Selena says, iron condors don't seem to be for this market. I've been losing to the point that I turned off my bot this week. So the iron condors, if you're doing the 1 DTE, I would say there have potentially been, because from day to day, it runs hard one day, one way or the other. But for the last several weeks, I have done iron condors on iron condors on Triple Q and IWM. I did them week after week, and Triple Q has been fine for a weekly. So it may just be that it's not maybe a 1 DTE, maybe from day to day, because the market does seem to be trending in one direction. But if you're going out a few more days, it may be a bit more, you may have an opportunity for success that is better, right? We're actually looking at Peakbot is actually testing right now the SPX daily 0 DTEs. They're testing the SPX 0 DTE strategy that will be just the afternoon. It will pick up at like 2:30 in the afternoon. It will run, the plan is to run to expiration. It has a stop loss built in and all the good stuff. So they're back testing that right now. That may be a better move for many instead of the 1 DTE, because of the fact that so many times the indices gap up, they gap down, things happen, and then you got a whole day to ride with all that price action. But if you're doing something that's just in the afternoon, maybe 2:30 Eastern Standard Time to 4 o'clock, that's maybe a better move. So, I mean, definitely, I want you to do what works best for your portfolio. Definitely, that's the way that should go. Okay, that's the way that should go. All right, let's remove this and let's go look at some stocks. I had a couple of things I saw here. I saw PM listed. I mentioned a couple of stocks that would be for this season for retail and for maybe consumer discretionary and for tech. I put a couple in there. So if you got something else, that may be we can look at that. Selena said she may be better. I asked them to adjust the delta. Yeah, I think the delta was at 25. It's at 25 at this point. And I'm sure they're open to seeing what works. Tanya's saying you agree to adjusting the delta. Is that that's where your agreement is? Okay, let's change this. Look for the screen. Or you agree that the weekly has been good. My weeklies have been okay. What can we expect this season for a newbie? Well, a couple things. If you're still working a strategy that's not been solidified yet, a newbie should still be probably in the sim. If you do have a strategy that works, you want to just trade it with, proper risk management. You don't want to go heavy unless unless you've traded in this season, in the Thanksgiving season before, You may want to just be, very conservative with your sizing. Okay, that may be it. You definitely want to, if the volume is low, which the chances of the volume being low is here, you might want to just, have 1 or 2, 3 stocks that you focus on at most. So keep it light, keep it tight, as they say. Focus on one and just be just be very mindful, right? And again, there's absolutely nothing wrong with watching a season happen to see what is going on and trade it in your sim. That way, when it comes next year or whenever, you're ready. Listen, the market ain't going nowhere. So, take the time to watch, see what's going on. I know for me, if I'm not in the market as much during the day, it's giving me time to focus on other things I want to get done. Not just that, I can think about the things that are, I will say things that are more important to me, the things that are like, family related things. If I'm prepping for Thanksgiving, because Thanksgiving is happening at my house. So I can put my mind on that and not necessarily be as tuned in, or I'll use the word bothered about when the market doesn't go well or when my money doesn't go as well. So, okay. Let me see. No, the tickets, that trend. Okay. Google came down a bit. Netflix, AMD, Coin, BA. I have only been doing iron condors on tickers that are consolidating, not trending up or down. Will the SXP or SPX strategy be okay for this season? Very well could be. If you're following that SPX strategy and you're waiting till, as late as you can wait in the day, I would suggest you do that. And I think Jamie has had some success, and you all were talking about it on Friday. If you're having success with waiting till 3 o'clock and 3:30 and waiting into the later part of the day and making a call after that, some 2:30, definitely you want to be in the market the least amount of time as possible. Or if you're going to get in the day earlier in the day, you're going to want to do a PDT hack. You want to make sure that you're locking in your profits. If you're opening yourself up to SPX all day, you want to make sure that you've got your profits locked in early enough for you not to have to worry about it all day. 6 hours is a long time to wrestle with SPX.
Question.
Yep.
I had sent you a message about this. What was the tweak on the XPS playbook that Yancey added?
Yancey does he does his tweak is the delta. He does that. I don't think we had it set for like which delta to pick. We didn't have that. I didn't have that in the delta. And I also didn't have if it breaches your strike in the last 5 minutes or 10 minutes to close it. I didn't have that in there either.
Close the sell leg or close the whole side?
I think he closes the whole side. Okay.
So so he's getting in at noon, and then
no, he's getting in at 1:30 or 2:30 our time. It's still afternoon.
Okay. So 1:30, 2:30, and what's the delta?
He's going with a 90, or 10 delta. So for us, it would be like 90% probability to have the money. He's going there.
Okay.
Okay. So he's going with like a 10 delta on both sides, unless he sure is trending one way, and then he'll just do the one side.
Okay.
He does 10 delta. He also has been doing a 10 spread. I don't think that part's necessary for what we do, but he's been doing a 10 spread. So he's leveraging the $1,000.
Got it.
I think the one of those, the 5 spread, I think will be sufficient. He's doing a 90% probability to have the money between 1:30 2:30 get in. And if it breaches in the last 15 minutes, he closes it.
All right, cool. Thank you.
Okay. Selena says he does a 10 delta. She is too, and that's been working. All righty. Okay, this is where we are for SPX for the week. I don't think we had anybody ask for SPX, but I know there are some people who traded. So let's look at that. The resistance area is 6,008, maybe up to 6,017. Excuse me. It could definitely push on up there. It didn't come out of there real hard, but it came down steady all these days. So We've got support at the 58.69. There's probably some support in here too because of the way those kind of stalled out. Let me change it to a line chart. Yep, right here, the 59.15 in here, there is some support here as well. Right in this area. All right, if we're looking for, again, if you're going to trade something that's kind of going one way and you want to think about doing it as an iron condor, you should do one side, go with the direction it's going, and then check for a reject of the other side before you enter that other side. That should be what you should consider, okay? Looking for SPX, I'm going to look for the 29th, or you would look for the week, or maybe look for the 27th. Let's look for the day before Thanksgiving. Let's look there. You could go with the 29th, but again, then you're exposing yourself to 2 more days after, you don't know what's going to happen over the holiday. So if you were looking, SPX, you probably need to get a little further away than my normal 80%, 75%, maybe a little bit further away if you're going to do that. 58.70 is a 90% probability out of the money. 58.70 and 60.35. 60.35 seems fairly far away. 58.70 and 60.35. 58.70. Of course, it's not going to show. It may not show any good numbers now because the market is closed. The market is closed. $25. That's not a lot of money to be on it for 3 days, but it will give you some safety from far away, right? Let me go to, I want to type. Nope, not there. I wanted to type into, where are we? Where are we? Here we go. SPX, 58.65 and 58.70 on put credit spread. And what I say, 60.35, 60.40 call credit spread. 60.35. 60.35 is paying $55. So the 55 plus that other 25, that's going to give you $80 for a 5 spread. $80 for a 5 spread is about a 15% return. Again, if you wait till the price is coming more in the direction of what you're looking for, which definitely SPX is going to give you the moves. It's going to give you the moves. If you know which strikes you like, you just wait for the premium that you like and go with that. Go with that. Good job, Tanya. Tanya says that's what I do. I wait till it moves toward the other way. Selena says, thanks everyone for welcoming me into the group, and the strategy is definitely what I was seeking. I've learned in my short time of trading, all you need is 1 to 2 strategies and setups for success. That is very true. You don't really have to have a whole bunch of strategies. You got to have 1 strategy or 1 setup that you can rinse and repeat. Let's look at triple Q. See what we see here for some, maybe a potential for this week. Triple Q is on the bullish list. It is on the bullish list going up. I traded it as an iron condor the past several weeks. Last week I did the put credit spread first, then I set the call credit spread. That one, when the price dropped a little bit, I got out of that one. And then the put credit spread side, it kind of dropped some. This was in these days, it was dropping, then it recovered. So then I set another call credit spread, and that one came out profitable. And by the time the week was over, all 3 of the trades that I had done came out profitable on triple Q for the week. Okay. Looking here looking at the charts, We've got a resistance area up here at 506. Lots of wicking here, though. I think if we were looking for support, we would look at support right here in the 503 area. 503. Oh, come on. Nope. Okay. I already put one there. Above the gap puts us at 508. Right below this gap puts us at 492. 500 is probably going to play. 500 would most likely play support. It's a psychological number, so it wouldn't want to drop back below there. But let's just see. Let's go look at some numbers. Again, I would do triple Q until Wednesday. I would also do that. 80% probability if you wanted to go a little bit further away. 499, 500, which is what I was saying. 500 is probably the psychological number. 499 to 500 on the put credit spread side. And I'd go with 512. That's just me looking at it right now. What did I say? 499, 500 put credit spread, and what did I say? 512. The 512, 513 part really should wait and see what kind of movement triple Q gives you before you set that top side. 499, 500, paying about $16. I would definitely boost it up to about 20. And then the 512 move. 512 is paying another $19. So 19 and the other 20 I picked. So 20 and 20, about $40 you can take in for the week. Okay, that would be triple Q. IWM, the small caps, folks move their money out of the big money to the big caps to the small caps, and look at this foolery that happened. My call credit spread got breached, fooling up with IWM, but it's coming into a resistance zone. 241, it's at 238 and some change. It's coming back into its resistance zone. Will it push on through 242 and some change? Remains to be seen. Line chart. Our support is down here by this, down here by the gap at 230. Okay, there's a gap below this current price. At the low bottom of that gap is 234. There's also support at 230 and some change, and resistance at 241. It's going in a bullish direction. It's got to hit, it is bullish. IWM is on the bullish list, but it's going to come into this resistance zone at 241, 242. So you're going to want to be mindful of that. Let's see, what is the implied volatility for Wednesday? 4 points, $4 up. So up to 242, 243, and down to 234 and some change, maybe 235. If you were looking at it, right now, 234, 235 is an 80% probability out of the money, 235, and 80 or 79 is at 243. 243. $243, $244. It's call credit spread. And I think I said 235. Yep, 234, 235. Put credit spread. Where's my mouse? Okay. IWM and 235. Okay. Let's see. Even though we go over these numbers while we're here on the call, you want to definitely check these numbers out for yourself when the market is open to see if you still agree that these are good zones. If there's a gap up or a gap down, you might see that something else is of interest to you. And if that's the case, some other strike, go with what you see. That's why we go through and look at the the charts ourselves so we can see what is here, and you can use that information to decide for yourself what you see. If you don't know how to chart or to find support and resistance, I've got a few videos on my channel that will help you with that. Go and look at those videos on my channel. Those will help you a bit with that. Okay. Yep.
On your inside of your StreamYard screen, in the bottom right corner, where it says post a comment.
Okay.
Click the box to the left of that. Instead of all, select educator to trader.
Okay. I don't want it to only go to that one Facebook page though.
Well, if you select all, well, okay.
You don't want my comments going to your page? Is that what you're saying?
Okay. I forgot that you had 97 different things you was broadcasting to up there.
Okay. Come for me if you want to.
I ain't coming for you. I just like to speak for myself. So I just delete your comment if I don't like the comment. But I like to speak for me. I've had enough people putting words in my mouth, and my mother was the number one. So I'm like, I'll speak for me. Thank you. But no. I see what you're saying. So I forgot about your other. So you have to do all. So I got you.
Okay. All righty. I do understand what you're asking, but if I can't pick more than one. I either pick all or only one.
Exactly.
Give me more choices. Yeah. Okay. All righty. Here's Philip Morris. What, Jamie? Smile that your mic is open. What kind of candle pattern is Philip Morris?
Listen. So here's the thing. I can tell you what it looked like, and then I can tell you after the election, it smashed a couple of those candle patterns to death. So, so I'm like, yo, this thing don't even look right. So the one that it looks like to me is that one looks like it could be, I guess, a rising wedge.
Yeah, this was a triple top here. Boom, boom,
yeah,
third time it fell off.
Oh, that's right. So yeah, I guess it depends on the hard part with these. Sometimes is how far back are you judging it from? Because because that kind of determines where you decide to start the poll. Right. Changes where it's at, or changes what the formation could be at the time. So if I'm using like this whole chunk of time, I'm looking at that might be one formation, but just like you just said, if you're looking at the what is it, double top or triple top?
Yeah.
I mean, that would be that would mean we're doing it sooner. But if we're using this latest long green candle, I don't know what date that right is. Here. Yeah.
That's the 14th.
Okay. So then that will look like it could be trying to form a double top as well. Okay. Because those the highs are about the same, and the pole is starting from south to north.
Okay.
And yeah, the lows and the highs, I don't see with the other patterns that are similar to that, with the symmetrical triangle and the ascending triangle, the lows kind of push up or the highs kind of push down. But with these, they're kind of even. So that almost looks like the double top area.
Yeah. Okay. Philip Morris is on our bullish list. It is on the bullish list. Let's go look and see what we see from a put credit spread for the week. Not a whole lot of volume happening for this week, though. Some of these say NA, like there's nobody over there. Right? Looks like 75% probability to have the money is 128. So 127, 128 if we were going with that. Looks like it's paying about $22. 127, 128, paying $22 for Philip Morris for Friday. Okay, PM 127. None of this stuff is investment advice. I'm just showing you what I see. Then I believe we had Google with another one I saw written. Tanya had Google with the L, Google.
And Philip Morris is showing with the moving averages that I have. The Philip Morris is showing support right now. I got the 10, or this is 9, 21, and 50. And they are showing support right now. So I'm not surprised that it will be bullish.
They look like they're about to cross back over, though. Cross back over to the upside. Okay. All righty. Google. Google is not on our list this week. It must have gone up into moderate. It must have gone up into moderate risk, because when I do our list only comes from lower risk items. Google wasn't there, so it must have switched over to moderate risk. Let me look real quick to make sure I'm not misspeaking about that. But okay, it'll come up here in a minute. I see with my little eye, I spy with my little eye. It's coming right into all this consolidation. Yeah, it's coming into all that consolidation. Seems to be a lot. It was in this zone before and it just hovered and danced. It hovered and danced. That's what is happening here. So let's see what else we see on here. There is a gap. There's a gap here that still remains to be closed. There is a gap here that remains to be closed. There's a little teensy bit of gap below here. So as Jamie would say, we might be having a gap sandwich between these two. All right, 160.92 seems to be the bottom of this dance zone, maybe 161. And if we're looking up a little bit higher, we've got resistance at 178. We've got some resistance at 169 in this area right here. 169 and some change. So 169 is some resistance. 162, 161 is some support. And there's a lot of stuff that happened in the middle here. So let me go. Now I'm curious to see. I'm curious to see where it is on the, what is it showing? What's the trend that's showing for Google in Peakbot in the trend? Y'all hold on, please. If you see something else that you're looking at, something that I'm missing as far as a gap or something else on the chart that you think is noteworthy, let me know. Let me know. Let me know. Ay. Here we go. All right, here. Watch list. I'll drag it to the screen so everybody can see and not just me. Okay, let's see if we can put in, I'll go by ticker. G, okay. Google is showing neutral, but it's showing moderate. neutral and moderate risk, which is why I said it must have moved to moderate risk, because the chart looked like it was looking kind of consolidation-y. All right. So if it's neutral and in moderate risk, that means an iron condor may be our portion. Might just be our portion. So let's go look and see. If 81 probability out of the money is at 160. So 157.5, 160. 157.5, 160. Put credit spread. Where we at though? That might have been 6 seconds. Oh, y'all know you gotta be careful with how long. Gotta be careful with how long you sig. 157.5, 160, and then on the call credit spread side, 170, 172.5. Okay, so let's switch over. Verticals. 157.5, 160. Paying $25 for a 2.5 spread. Okay, that would be 10% on that side. And I said 170, 172.5. Another 23, might as well bump it up, make it an even 25. So if you can get 25 on each side, get $50 in, that'll be a 20% return on the collateral. Right? That could be good there. That was the first song. That could be good there. Y'all count. Thank y'all. Y'all keep counting the seconds for me. Yep, Tanya, that might be a good one. All right, that might be a good one. I want to go look at XRT. Did I have any more in the chat? I didn't see any other stocks there. Am I not sharing my screen? I guess I'm not.
You are not. Okay.
I wonder what did you do something to make this?
I did nothing.
Did y'all see the watch list on Peakbot? Did it stop sharing before that? Did you all see the watch list on Peakbot?
No, I saw the list.
Could you could see Peakbot? Well, could you all see it? Could the rest of y'all see it? Oh, those are the ones you wanted me to do, Janae? Okay. I saw that list. I didn't know if that's what you wanted me to check out. Okay. We got them. XRT. XRT is the retail ETF.
It's still not showing there, listen.
Well, I keep picking it. Why is it doing that?
There you go.
There we go. I don't know why it's doing that. Okay. It's an XRT. XRT is the spider retail sector. All right. So now I figure retail is something we're coming into, some retail, right? So keep that in mind. Let me go see if, no, where'd you go? I need you back. There we go. Let's see if XRT, if it shows up on this list. BWX, XR. Nope, there's no XRT on here. Jamie, you okay?
Say it again.
Are you okay?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know this doggone mic was even on.
You all right?
Oh, I know what it did. It switched to my laptop. Sorry.
Okay. So we've got 77. I see as some support, but looks like we might be. Wow, y'all see that? It looks like we just been dancing in the zone. It's tightened up a little bit and then it bumped out a bit over here, but it's been right in here for all this time. Now it's at an all-time high of 81.19, but it definitely seems to like this zone, this error. There's a gap there that needs filling. There wasn't even any sellers at the bottom of that. So it things are moving. Okay. It's been kind of consolidating, but with what I see, it might have bumped out of the consolidation zone. So now you need to wait and see what it does. But let's see what kind of premiums, because if it don't got no decent premiums, it don't matter. If it don't do right, we don't fight with it. With too many things to pick from, to stay with stuff that don't do well. Okay, so we got implied volatility of 3.6 going down up there. That puts us at what, 78, 77 or 78. It jumps from like 60s into, okay, wait, why did 93 pop in the middle of here? That's weird. 8540 is a big volume number at 78. That's interesting. There's no volume except for like right here. Let's see, 77, 78. This is a 0.5 spread. Oh yeah, it's looking wonky because it's got a debit, but it's red. It's got issues. We got to wait till the market's open. Look at there. A 1 spread, it's going to pay you $192. Yeah, no, that doesn't even work like that. So we're going to leave XRT right here for the minute. Going to leave it right there for the minute. Let's go find Netflix. Let's go see what Netflix is up to. Everybody thought it was going to fall off the bone after the fight. And not so much. We're almost at $900. Look, Netflix came out to fight like, let's do this. Who is here for it? Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Okay. So, Janae, did you trade Netflix this week or did you watch? You just watch. It's a seriously bullish move. Seriously bullish move. Okay. It went as high as 908. If I was trading Netflix, I definitely would stick with the put credit spread side until you see it stop and turn. You do see some wicking up here, but it's, I'm not sure how significant that is. So I definitely would put credit spread it until then. The only thing is when it gets up into these zones, you don't know when it will hit something and decide it's done. So the momentum is all, this is all momentum. But if you get to this top part, it has leveled off around 897. We do have some support all the way down here around 838 up to about the 897. Netflix said, y'all looking for me? Yeah, that's what it said. Y'all don't want a piece of me. That's what Netflix said. All right, let's go look at it. Again, I'd be very careful. You do see some 2.5s up here, though, which I think is interesting. That there's some 2.5s up here, and there's a little bit of volume. There's volume at the 880, 1,000 is the volume there, and there's a volume of 1,300 down at 850. The IV number is 23.9 or 24. So if we were subtracting 24 from here, we'd be at what, 872, 873. Somewhere in there would be in the 875, 870, which is 80% probability out of the money. So 872.5, 875. 872.5, 875 is paying $50, almost $50. Netflix, 872.5, 875. PCS is paying right at $50. So 20% return. I definitely would watch it. Janae said I watched. You have to get in early for the week. Netflix. You definitely need to keep your mind stayed on Jesus if you're going to be trading Netflix. Let's go to AMD. Oh, I didn't want AMDX. I just wanted AMD. Go to some candles. AMD's kind of sitting in a zone right now too. Kind of dancing right in the middle of it. Okay. 140. Got a gap up here that has yet to be revisited. Actually, that gap is bigger than this. The gap is from the close of the candle to the open of the next candle. So all of this would be the gap from 152.98 or 153 all the way up to 166 and some change. Am I doing that movement, Jamie, or are you?
That would move me.
Okay. Yeah, we got some support right in the 138, 140, 138, 139 area. That's all in there too. All right. So the candle. All righty. What do we see here? I'm seeing a bunch of downwards movement. It seems like AMD has been on the bearish side of things. You see what we see when I look over on the AMD is bearish. AMD is bearish. So we're gonna look for a call credit spread.
All the moving averages are above it.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely bearish.
78 probability out of the money at 143. 143, 144, somewhere in that area. Nope, I don't want a back ratio. 143, 144. Paying about $18. AMD, 143, 144 call credit spread. Put it on good till canceled. Coin and BA. Oh, I didn't finish it, did I? Send that. Let's see what's happening with coin. Y'all notice SoFi doing its good work. Y'all see SoFi doing its good work over there? Valentine's say folks just sitting around. It's going to $45 and people gonna miss it and gonna look, just sit idly by watching. I said, well, that's how things happen. That's how that happened to crypto. People sat around idly watching. When they were talking about $30,000, people like it's gonna be 100. And I was like, yeah, right. Next thing you know, we're breathing down 100K. Like, well, maybe they were right. Maybe they were right. Maybe their timing was a little off, but it still happened. So this is Coinbase. Been consolidating a minute, but it's also trying to like it's coming back out of this zone. Let's see, we got bearish or bullish? Bullish and high risk. It's bullish and high risk. Okay. Yep. SoFi to 70. I think once everything gets out of the way, SoFi can keep moving. I do agree that it can definitely keep moving based on what they're doing and the way they've laid the foundation. Bullish, we said, okay. Support I see at the 279, just above the gap, or you can use the bottom of the gap, which is 270. Looking at bullish. 78 is at 275. 272.5, 275. Of course, you can always widen these spreads. That's paying $45. That's almost a 20% return. 272.5, 275. This is coin. Put credit spread. 272.5, 275. Okay. And BA. Boeing. This is Jamie's favorite stock.
Yeah, right. By me.
Oh, that's Jamie's favorite stock. It's kind of between two zones, but it pulled out of their support area. Between two zones, torn between two zones. It's bearish though. It's showing up as bearish. Boeing is showing up as bearish. So let's see. Got the downwards right here. We're looking for a trend line. It's a trend line. Got a trend line right here. That means may have a little bit more room to go and get it. Maybe. Has a little bit more, maybe some more space. But it's bearish. No shock about the bearish part. 155 is at 82%. Plus minus 5 is the implied volatility. That puts us about the right place. 155, 157.5. Paying $29 BA. 155, 157.5. Let me see, I'm hitting the right numbers. Yep. Call credit spread. You can make it a good $30. Okay, a little bit more, a few pennies more than 10%. All right. Now I feel like I got to hit SoFi now that we brought it up. Looky there. SoFi came up out them $5 and $6. Like, y'all ain't going to, this is the last time. You know how you be at church and they say, look at your neighbor and say, this is the last time I'm going to look like this. That's what SoFi did. SoFi went to church and said, you look turn to your neighbor and say, this is the last time you going to look like this. Look in the mirror. This is the last time you going to look like this. Let's pray that's how it continues. Let's pray that it continues, okay? I want it to continue. I have a leap that I want to keep leaping all the way into next year. Well, you know, Boeing is staying in business because Boeing is more than just airplanes. So they're able to stay in business because of other things. But, the airplanes definitely plays a big part. But they are the premier manufacturer, though there's lots of issues, seems like. They still are a manufacturer of airplanes. So it's at 1575. It closed at 1560, but the high is 1575. We do have some support at 1465 if we're looking at SoFi. So let's talk a little bit about what you could do if you wanted to trade SoFi. If you didn't want to trade it week to week. Let's say you wanted to trade SoFi as you say you wanted to trade SoFi, you wanted to get a leap. You know, we have a strategy. I was talking about it earlier with the cash secure puts or covered calls, right? You got a few ways you could trade. The few ways that you could trade SoFi if you were interested. You know, if you ain't interested, of course you can, ignore what I'm talking about. If you were interested in SoFi, let's go back to where I was on my chart. Take me back. What song am I on? The fourth or fifth one now? Where'd it go? Lord. I need to reset the drawing. Where did you go? Reset the graph. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to hit a T. Nope. There we go. Okay, so what you could do if you wanted to trade, you could trade SoFi. You could sell cash secure puts. Let's say you could go in the money, or you could go at the money for your strikes. You could go at the money or in the money and sell puts. Whatever price you think you'd be okay, if you be okay acquiring the stock at that price, you can sell cash secure puts there. Okay. Sell cash secure puts at the 15 strike. What is that? Let's see what that. I'm gonna put an okay here. I want to see what that looks like. If you were looking out, you can do it week to week, right? I'm gonna go to single week to week. If you were doing a 15 strike on SoFi, you're going to collect $19, but you are going to leverage the other $1,500 in collateral because you're saying that if the price gets down to 15, that you're going to purchase those shares. Okay, let me go back to where I was writing. Nope, I want the same one back. Okay, so I can keep typing right in here. Sell, cash, secure, put 15 strike. Collect your premiums. Leverage. 1,500 collateral. Okay, or you could buy a leap. Sell, cash, secure, 15 strike. I'm gonna put weekly in here because you can do this every week if you want, until you get assigned. If you think you might want to buy SoFi, but you want to buy it at a certain price, you can sell, cash, secure puts up until it gets to that price. Okay, you could. There's one more thing you could just do. You could buy 100 shares of SoFi at current price. And sell covered calls against it. You could do that. You could buy 100 shares at current price and sell covered calls against it every week. You could sell cash secure puts on a weekly basis at the 15 strike or whatever strike you like. You could go lower in strikes. Of course, you go lower in strikes means you're going to take in less premiums, but it also costs you less collateral. And you could do that. And then if you ever when you get assigned, you'll have the 100 shares and you can still sell covered calls against them. Okay, I'm putting a thing here. When you get assigned the shares, sell covered calls against them for premiums. All right. That's way number 2. Way number 3, you could buy a leap. You could buy a leap for SoFi, maybe for, you can go out to next year. Let's see what will be a good time. You want to go out at least 6 months. At least 6 months from that, if you wanted to do that. Let's see what will be a good expiration. When you get in there, you start getting to the month lease. Okay, so we got January, February, March. Maybe you get into, that's not quite 6 months, right? It's November. So maybe into April or June. Okay, so let's say if you wanted to just do April, you want to buy a leap. You could buy a leap at the money. The leaps in SoFi are $260 for at the money. Especially if you believe it's going to continue to climb, you can spend $300 or $260, buy a leap and buy it at the money or a little bit in the money, and you can sell covered calls against that. If you want to go up, maybe we go to June. June at the money is $320. Right? You buy you a leap for June, spend $320. And then let me go back to my chart so I can type what I want to say. Okay. Buy a leap for SoFi, sell covered calls. Maybe June 2025 expiration. Sell covered calls against the leap. Now, if all the stuff I've said is stuff that you're like, okay, I don't know what you're talking about, then you might need to go and check into that. You might need to go investigate my wheel strategy, the wheel strategy resource training that is on sale for 50% off right now. You might want to go ahead and get the wheel strategy. What I just talked about is the wheel strategy, and all the stuff I mentioned is in there. How do you use your collateral? You can buy, you can sell puts. You can decide I'm going to buy the shares and sell against those, because then you at least have the asset. You don't have to sell against them if you don't want. You can buy a leap and sell against that if you'd like. That's at least 3 ways. Of course, you could buy calls, but buy, shorter dated calls. You can do that as well. All of those. I'm not sure if y'all can see that screen because it's kind of small. It's not small for me, but depending on where you are, it might feel small to you. Okay. That's what we could do for SoFi. If we wanted to do selling this week, if you just wanted to do maybe 84% is at 14.5 or 71 is at 15. If you wanted to sell verticals, if you were feeling real froggy, you could do 14.5, 15 for 0.5 spread. It's $10, right? And if you wanted to, like I said, if you were feeling a little froggy, you could do that, or you could go down a little bit, one more step lower. 14.5 is only going to pay $4. So that may not be. I don't think that would be worth it. 14.5, 13.5, paying $5. I wouldn't consider that worth it. Okay. I think I covered all that I was going to cover. Okay. If you're still hanging out, please be sure to like and subscribe, because you need to do that, right? Like and subscribe. You've got the ticker running at the bottom that's talking about the membership. That's running along the bottom. You can also, if you're in any of my email lists, you probably have gotten the link to join the Facebook group. We have a Facebook group called Options Trading for Beginners. Yeah, I think it's called Options Trading for Beginners on Facebook. You can find me over there and join our Facebook group if you'd like. I'm on all the places, Twitter, I'm in Facebook, I'm on YouTube, and where else am I? I'm on IG, not a whole lot on IG. I'm not a huge fan of IG, but I'm there anyway. And yeah, you can join my email list. There's several free resources that I have at the E2T-freebies.com. E2T-freebies.com. I'm putting the link into the chat. You can go there and check out all the free resources that are available, free trading resources for, traders in general and for selling. It's all there. All of it's there. All of it's there. All righty. Jamie, you got anything you want to say?
Sorry, no, ma'am.
I'll be just waiting like.
I know, right? I'm trying to get my mouse over to the microphone to unmute.
Okay. Well, all right, everyone. We've done about an hour and 46 minutes, which is a long time. And we'll be on in the morning, 9:20. We'll be there, the E2T morning show. Okay. I want you to trade wisely, trade strategically, do whatever other research you need to do tonight. You all can check and wait for my little list if you're waiting for that. If you're not, of course, that's fine too. I'm just saying. And yeah, we'll see you in the morning. We're going to do two things, though. We always try to stay green and get this money. All right, everybody. I'll see you later. Goodbye, Jamie. See y'all in the morning.
Have a good one.
Bye, everyone.